就让你见识一下我的厉害吧。任何的敌人都敌不过真爱的力量。
People, and welcome back to News Review. The Jiajia event enters the next phase and 2 new cards are introduced before they are gone forever. If you are a new or returning player, I do recommend you check out my new player guide. It will help you to better understand what I'm saying in the video. As always, open up the patch notes, link in the description if you want to follow along. The new seal will have both these cards as the main jackpot, and it is unique in the fact that the guaranteed pity is every 20 draws, which is a price of 100 diamonds, so you can see each card as being worth half a black gold. The leader skills of these 2 cards are extremely similar, both allowing Jiajia light and dark members, with the only difference being that one is CD cycling at the end of each round, and one is CD -5 upon entry. The idea is for one to be the leader and one to be the ally, so this makes sense. As leader and ally, they share a team skill, which is pretty standard. It ignores a lot of the standard stuff. There's quite a lot of emphasis putting on Jiajia members, so leader viability might be a problem since this kind of team is usually not that flexible, but there is a good amount of shield breaking in the team skill already. For the member team skill, when they don't have to be leaders necessarily, they just have to be in the team. It focuses a lot on CD cycling with Jiajia members. There's also the individual member team skill. They also get a CD reduction even when their skill is cleared by a stat clear by an enemy, I would assume. I mean, if you're going to activate your own stat clear, you can just deactivate it beforehand to avoid that happening, which is an interesting buff for this type of active to receive. This is the first kind of buff card that has gotten a buff indirectly to getting cleared. Lastly, they also have a draconic ability, which is fine in terms of utility, but this can enable speedrunning because you just get, a lot of actives going off and therefore a lot of direct damage going off. This is an interesting direction to go with these cards. And finally, they also have bond skills with each other, which of course is CD cycling when the character is dissolved because, this team is apparently very, very focused on CD cycling. Further active, this looks like a lot of text, but it's just a buff card with some decent effects. Honestly, the best effects are on deactivation, which is fine since the CD of this card is so short anyway. Removing laser trap and restoring cracked is very, very good. This is even more text, but it's also a buff active. You choose the 5 types of runestones to convert half your board into, and also ignore all elemental shields. The deactivation effects are less good on first glance, but I'm sure some madman will find a way to infinitely recharge the chronon meter to make it have permanent uptime or something. Moving on to the Dragonwares, even though these cards cost half as much as black golds, these 2 cards do have their associated Dragonwares, which are actually quite good. The light one can be equipped on any human, and in addition to providing CD -2 upon entry, it is the first ever human Dragonware to ignore corruption skills, which is insane. Because of this, I think that the light Jiajia is almost a must-get for this Dragonware alone. The dark one also ignores corruption, but it's only for Jiajia members, so it's less good. Overall, I think these are 2 decent cards. Definitely grab the light one, if only for the Dragonware, but I'm still not sure about how good the dark one is. Moving on, we have 2 super skill characters appearing in 2 repetitive challenge stages, which is a format I haven't seen in a long time. This format requires you to clear the same stage multiple times with different teams, where a card will be banned when you clear the stage with it. To get this event card, you will have to clear the stage 30 times, with an additional meta reward on 35 clears, and a golden title on 80 clears across both stages. I actually quite like this format, since I get to use the cards that normally never see the light of day, and it requires some level of creativity, but I can understand how it's not that friendly to newer players as well. I recommend planning out all the teams that you want to use beforehand in order to not screw yourself with using a banned member later on. The card itself is quite good. The active is written in a convoluted way, but basically you lose out on a lot of effects if Penny isn't also in the team. Penny's skills haven't been, released yet, but from the card art, you can probably guess it's a dark demon. The two cards also have a team skill of ×2.2 stat and -6 CD upon entry, so that makes it more viable for them to be members in a team together. I think that this card could be good, especially since the majority of demons only give shield breaking to themselves or their series, with very few cards that give it to all demons like this one. For the last new card, we have the Earth Demon Felix. This is an okay card at best. I don't think it'll ever get used, to be honest, since the active just doesn't do a whole lot. The best effect is probably choosing what type to attack with, but even that's overshadowed by something like Rimuru. For now, this is where I rank the two Jiajia cards. My opinion will probably change once I see their real performance, and it's also weird to have cards priced at 100 diamonds, so it's a bit hard to place them. And for my ranking of the free cards, this tier system doesn't make much sense for these two cards since neither are farmable, but I'd say that Jenny is pretty good. You do just get her at dual max, in the repetitive challenge days once you reach the number of clears needed, and Felix will probably never see the light of day, as I said before. For the celebration events, the returning ultimate cards are the Light Machina Jerry and the Light God Hera, both of which you can get one copy of and move on. Apart from that, some past realm exploration cards are also coming back, so be sure to grab at least one copy of those if you missed out on the cards during their first run. That's it for this week's news review. If you liked it, please leave a like. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments down below. And if you liked it in general, please subscribe. It helps me and the channel out, and I'll see you next video. See ya!